And welcome into the TexAgs post-game wrap. Texas A&M does beat Notre Dame 41-40. And this is presented by TKO Equipment. And guys, we got a lot to get into, but I got to pay some bills before we do that. Your Aggie-owned and operated Texas construction and aggregate equipment dealer. It was founded 47 years ago by the Smith family. Aggie classes of 60, 67, 69, and 73, and continuing today with classes of 73, 98, and 12, actively involved, headquartered in Dallas-Fort Worth, and fully stocked branch office in New Braunfels. TKO proudly serves all of Texas and has the equipment and expertise and passion for service to keep your job up and running. TKO is also your exclusive Texas screen machine dealer. Give them a call today for your earth moving or aggregate equipment needs. Simply visit tkoequipment.com to learn more. The game of the year, guys. No matter who you were rooting for in this one, I think people came away with such a resolve from Texas A&M. The punches that Notre Dame threw early, some of the self-inflicted wounds that A&M had early, all they did was respond. And Marcel Reed, Mario Craver, Casey Concepcion, Nate Borkacher, all becoming legends tonight here in South Bend. Listen, welcome in our panel. Chris Taylor always joins us, as does Brandon Leone, who was here at the game and now is on location somewhere. I'm not going to tell the people where he's at. Guys, let's start talking about it. Just Brandon, what was the vibe here for you during the game, and then obviously with the touchdown to win it?
I feel like it was a typical A&M game, right? A big game. Everybody was on pins and needles around us. You mentioned it earlier on. The fact that we took so many blows, had so many self-inflicted wounds tonight, had a serious injury to a teammate, which, praise God, it sounds like he's moving and everything's going well, to come away with that. And then, think about this, to have the kick return called back, right, after having that high and then seeing the flag, just the resiliency, the grit that Mike Elko's been talking about with his team. They finally put it on display. And the crazy part was, guys, I know everyone will probably agree, that wasn't our best effort. Tons of penalties. It's not very often you win a game, especially a top 10 game on the road, when you give up a special teams touchdown and lose the turnover battle. So I was so fired up for those guys, for our program, for the coaching staff, for the players, and for our fans, man. Like, walking back to the shuttle, we're about to ride back to Chicago now. Everybody was like, man, we needed that. Like, we deserve that. Like, we've been through so many tough losses, and to take one like that at the very end, and a hard fought top 15, top 20 game, I couldn't be more proud of the team, man. And yeah, you said it, man. Marcel Reed and the receivers, those guys in the portal, man, they have changed our ability to make plays. And really, if Marcel can dial in on some of those deep throws, we probably put up a lot more points tonight. So I'm just proud of him. I'm excited. I was so happy and blessed to be here, and so cool to see so many Aggies. Huge win.
TT, I'm thinking during this game, it's got the feeling of the South Carolina game all over again. It's got the feeling of the Auburn game, because you get behind, you make this amazing comeback, and then what? Well, the then what was they made the plays in the second half. That first half, Mario Craver was ridiculous. Talk a little bit about that comeback ability and the ability to close tonight.
Yeah, and I think, so many times as Aggie fans, we're kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop. We're like, well, what's about to go wrong? Are we going to be able to come back from this? And, you saw a team that from the opening, well, not the opening kick, but from the very start, we got hit in the mouth. We had a punt block. They score. Things don't seem to be going well. We have self-inflicted wounds. But, man, with the additions of KC, with Mario coming in, you saw Marcel take a step forward tonight and grow up a little bit. This team shows that behind that strong running game, that veteran offensive line, the playmakers and things that we have on the outside, that no lead, may not be safe for any team out there. And so just trading blows, man. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching the game, and your heart's racing. You have a great play by A&M. There's a great play by Notre Dame. And it's just back and forth. But, man, what can you say about this team? They took a step forward tonight. Not our best effort. Like Brandon said, wasn't our cleanest game. A lot of pre-snap penalties, just a lot of mistakes, things that we need to get cleaned up as we, head into the bye week. But what can you say about KC? Man, Mario, flat dogs on the outside. Marcel grew up, and then, Le'Veon, doing Le'Veon things and making big plays. And so really excited, not only for this team and Coach Elko, This team is starting to really kind of shape to his personality, shape to that dog mentality. But I'm even more ecstatic for this fan base because we've been craving one of these types of victories and wanting to have this team be successful for so long, and to go on the road to a place like Notre Dame and get the job done, man, it makes it even sweeter.
So Double B on the chat is asking for more energy from me. And I honestly think, and guys, tell me how you feel the same way. I almost don't know what I saw, right? Because I felt like the script was writing itself. And I'm like, if they can get this play, you get that penalty that down there on the defensive holding, you've got another opportunity to make magic. We've got to capitalize on this. And then they do capitalize it on the last offensive play for Texas A&M on the game. Let's go through some of these numbers, Brandon, because Marcel Reed, 17 of 37, 360 yards, 2 touchdowns, did have that 1 interception. A slow start, missed some throws early, but then when he got in the groove, and then obviously finding Mario, but it wasn't just Mario. Look at some of these receivers. Mario had 207 yards. Casey had 82 yards. Bussy had a huge couple of catches, only 27 yards, but they were huge. Theo. And then I thought, for a moment, I thought Bussy ran it back and won the game.
I mean, unbelievable. Y'all hear me say this every time we watch one of these games or recap one of these games. Every time we play, I'm always thinking about recruiting. And what I think about with all the skill players out there, the ability for us to stretch the field, to have receivers over 100 yards. I think Mario's first guy since Swope, I think in 12, to have 3 straight 300-yard games to start a season. Big plays, explosive plays. We have so many personnel groups that we can bring in. The tight ends were out there. It was just a great game plan from Colin Klein. And really, I think the most ballsy call of the game was that I think it was 3rd and 11 or 3rd and 12 when they handed it off to Moss and he got the first down. I mean, so he was really, really dialed in at times tonight, and it was super exciting to see because all I could think about as we build this program under Coach Delco is this offense is attractive to recruits and to explosive playmakers. And so it was just such a battle, man. Such a fun game, such a fun day. And, I'm kind of in shock, David, if they're looking for more energy. I'm just so overwhelmed right now, brother, but I'm about to get a bunch of energy on the shuttle right now. All the Aggies are getting back on. So it's exciting, man.
CT, Coach Elko called this just another step in the journey. And I was thinking to myself during the game, I'm like, a 7-5 team is really just 2 or 3 plays away from being 9-3, right? These are the kind of games that you win, though. You go on the road to a hostile environment and you have everything go against you. You start off the game with negative points, right? Because you have the punt block for a touchdown. You have some bad penalties. Everything goes against you, and you find a way to win. This is a step in the journey, and this is the kind of win that I think can platoon them to another level.
Yeah, it's one of those things that it's, and you said it, it's the next game. It's the next team up. And, just hearing Coach Elko and how he holds these guys accountable and the way that the guys embrace Coach Elko holding them accountable, I think that's what's kind of separated this team. And you've seen this team kind of take the next step. So, last year it didn't end the way we wanted to. Down the stretch was rough, as we limped across the finish line. But you look at this team now, they walk with a certain swagger. And I didn't get a chance to go to the game tonight, but watching you guys post about the energy that this team brings, it's like they have a confidence about themselves. They believe in each other, and what's the saying they always say, if you're not in my jersey, then, and we know what the rest of it is. But I think by adopting that mentality, adopting that mantra, going out, playing for your brothers, leaving it all out on the field, giving everything you got, that's what's going to continue to have this team define more success as they continue during the season. But man, one game at a time, happened to be Notre Dame. They went, took care of business on the road, come back to College Station, get healthy a little bit, and get ready to jump into this SEC schedule.
Brandon, we talked about this game being a game of, who's going to have the big plays. Notre Dame had a bunch of big plays. We may have lost Brandon there, but Notre Dame had a bunch of big plays. Oh, hey, it's midnight hour on the bus with Brandon. So Notre Dame had a bunch of big plays that worried me. But I thought A&M, honestly, if you look at outside the big plays, did a pretty good job stopping the running game of Notre Dame. Jeremiah Love had 94 yards, 4.1 average. Jadarian Price was fantastic. His 12 carries for 68. But they gave up 136 yards on the ground at home to a Notre Dame team that you knew they were going to pound the ball. They ran the ball 39 times. Last year, they rushed for 198 yards. There was definite progress in stopping the run outside of big plays.
100%. And I think it goes back. We've talked about this in the first 2 weeks, focusing on not letting these guys get outside. We've got to force these guys back inside. And then, again, we got to make open field tackles. Dalton Brooks played a great game, had a couple good hits, but on that, I can't remember if it was a touchdown or a super long run. He tried to attack Love up high, and you can't try to tackle an athlete like that up high. You're going to miss the tackle every time. So these little things, like these fundamentals, the gap assignment and alignment, having contained is so important. And yeah, like you said, I mean, ultimately, that's probably the best 1-2 punch we'll see at tailbacks across the season, and they held them in check. So it was a big game. Great stops for the defense, and I think if we can continue to work on our fits, tackle better, keep our head up, we're going to continue to get better as we develop in this defensive plan.
TT, what do you think about the Aggies' running game? It doesn't steal the headlines, right? But solid effort out there. You had Le'Veon getting his 20 carries for 81 yards, a 4.1 average. Again, that's the same average that Jeremiah Love had. You also had Marcel with his 37. I thought a couple opportunities he could have probably run that he didn't, but the big run came at the end.
Yeah, I think the run game has been effective. And, there's been a huge emphasis at the start of this season of getting Marcel comfortable, getting him the reps, getting him in a rhythm and a groove early so that he can go and finish a game, later like he did tonight. But I thought 20 carries from Le'Veon, like you said, Marcel added in his carries, but it's just effective. We hit them in spots. We're effective of getting 3-4 yards, pushing the pile. And those body blows tend to wear a defense down as it gets later in the game. So we have found our spots to run it. It's not like the team that we saw last year, but as a fan base, we griped and moaned, about the type of offense we ran last year. We were running too much, not enough explosive plays, not enough of those things. And so I think we have a great balance. 37 passes. Le'Veon had 20 carries. I'm not sure how many carries Marcel had, but I think it's a great balance. And hats off to Colin. We've been critical of him and his play calling at times and not having enough explosive plays and not being dynamic. I thought he caught a great game tonight. He got guys into space. He got them on the move, on motion. He created matchups that were favorable for us. And those guys went and won those matchups and won those plays. And you saw it, 41 points against a defense and a team like Notre Dame in their building. Man, that says a lot about how we've taken that step and how we've grown up as an offense.
CT, I want to keep it with you because you had the benefit of replay. Brandon and I didn't have the benefit of replay. So where I'm standing on the field, I see the touchdown, but I don't really recognize. I mean, I know it's a touchdown, but it took the silence at Notre Dame, at Notre Dame Field Stadium, to kind of make me realize, wait, we caught that bad boy. Explain the way the play developed, because Coach Elko said he knew that was going to be open, or he figured that could be open because they're going to try to double, obviously, KC and Mario, and his plan was to have Nate on the outside in that scene.
Yeah, there were probably 3 plays as we were coming down the stretch. The big run, the return from Bussy, and then you see the flag. And I'm at Buffalo Wild Wings, and we're hanging out, and you see the flag, and that kills the whole move. And then we drive down the field, we get into range, and then that last play, we actually got away with the holding call.
Yes, we did.
Chase tackled the D tackle, and we finally got one to go in our favor. So I'm not going to complain about it. But you saw Marcel. He was poised on that play. He didn't speed himself up. He didn't get excited. I always talk about a quarterback's feet. I thought his feet were calm in the pocket. And when it left his hand, you guys had the benefit of being able to see it. We had no idea where it was going. And, for our tight end to make that catch, that linebacker had been all over the field all night. They had been making plays, dropping, copping out, getting under pass routes, kind of spying Marcel. But to make that play, man, bar erupted. Aggie fans were happy about it. And, man, I'm glad they're coming home with that win tonight.
Brandon, why don't you close us out, man? The bye week is here. And I think it's coming at a good time because we get to celebrate this win for a couple of weeks before we get back to SEC play, or the beginning of SEC play. What do you think this win does for the future of not the program, the future of this season? Because it's got to be a next game mentality. But the fact that they got this win, they exercised some demons, and that's what the last 14 months has been for Coach Elko, is getting rid of some of the old, storylines and narratives about Texas A&M. Now you can say they've won against a ranked team. Now you can say they've won not only against a ranked team on the road, a top 10 team on the road.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think the reason that this is so big for this program is the timing of the win. And not just from a health standpoint, as we head into the bye week, we took care of our business the first 3 weeks. We beat a top 10 team on the road. I think for me, it's year 2 from Mike Elko. We put ourselves in a position last season to finish strong, to play for an SEC championship. And we did what everyone has come to expect us to do in the nationwide public, and we blew it. And this time, in year 2, Elko's recruiting well. You did some great additions in the portals. Our fan base has been starving for this. You were there, the freaking excitement and the passion from our fans. Do yourself a favor later, and I'm sure they'll show videos of everybody when the team ran to the corner and the Yell leaders were down there. I mean, we were going, brothers. Like my elbows bleeding. Jordan Peterson ran up and jumped up and hugged me. I hit my elbow on the concrete wall. But it was just so big time for this program because now Elko is, again, I always like to talk about recruiting. Man, he's got a story to tell. And he has changed the public perception of, can we go win the big game? They did it. They fought their freaking tails off. They overcame so much adversity, so many self-inflicted wounds, and they won a huge game. So I'm so proud of Coach Elko and the staff, and so happy for the football players. I'm so happy for all these amazing fans. It's exciting.
Brandon and CT, thank you guys so much. This was a great one. This has been my favorite road trip ever because most of the road trips I went on did not go successfully. This was a top 10 road victory against a team that will probably still find their way into the playoffs. So you never know. Maybe these two teams will meet again at some point. Gentlemen, thank you very much.
Enjoy, guys.
Thank you. That's going to do it for the TexAgs post-game wrap. We really appreciate everybody tuning in. We're going to have some more content tomorrow, obviously. Texas A&M does win 41-40 in a nail-biter here at the at Notre Dame Field. And this, again, is brought to you by our friends at TKO Equipment. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you tomorrow on the Luchador.